experiencing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, don't be like, oh, there's a new Travis Scott song on the Metro Boomin album. I like that flow. I'm gonna take that flow and put it on a Lil Baby beat. And now it's now it's a different song. But it's like, use the influences, but meld it into your perspective, and then you are your own artist.
I remember being on stage, like trying to like be energetic, and I felt it like click out of place, and it was just the most lousy feeling.
On the 31st of December, I woke up and I had very long hair, and I decided, fuck, it's way too hot to have long hair on the 31st of December in Australia, which is summer for all of you weird European Yanks and all the rest of you. But I shaved my head, and it felt spiritual, and it has put me at another level of inspiration and kind of confidence in myself of like, oh yeah, I can just be bald. Who gives a fuck about the hairline? Like, look at that. Just fucking do what you want whenever you feel like it.
That shit is a triangle.
Because, I'm telling you, bro.
Coastline function, man.
Do whatever the fuck you feel like. Like, literally, if you feel like just going and getting food, do it. But do something creative. Make a beat. Make a fucking short film. Make a fucking feature-length film. Produce anything. Produce music. Produce fucking content. Whatever the fuck you're trying to do, just do it. Because there is literally no one stopping you. And, like, if you get more famous than me, I'll kill you.
Bars. You actually set up like the doof setup type shit. You should get like the generator.
That's what I want to do. I want to find someone with like a sick house, like maybe some rich girl
Not even,
or
bro.
something, and just like with a sick garage that has like a big, like, I don't know, someone who lives on a farm maybe.
It's for a garage party or what?
Yeah. But no, like some fucking. Yeah, some doof type shit. Just that kind of energy of just like, fuck it, we're doing it here.
Yeah.
My mate's got a truck with a generator in the back.
Yeah, that's all you need, bro.
We got a mini fridge there, as well as shit that can power the speakers we'd need, the mics, the laptops, auto-tune, all of that. Just get it going in the bush. Yeah. It's a good fucking idea.
I reckon, bro. Under the Westgate, some shit like that.
No, and
people
like,
do it already.
People would be more keen for that than like, oh, it's another gig at Laundry. Exactly. And nothing against Laundry, of course, but...
Yeah. Have you been to like those events around Melbourne and shit?
Went to one.
The doofs, there's like Kunong Trail. Yeah.
Every time they popped up, I had like work the next morning, and I was like, I know I'm gonna end up calling in sick, and I need the money. I can't do it. There was that one where fucking Cal passed out that I wasn't.
Yeah,
there
that was the last. Oh no, that was the second last doof I went to.
Yeah, I've heard so many cook stories. I'm like, I'm keen to do one, especially if we were doing music or something.
And the reason being it would be good is because like it's free entry.
Yeah, and like
so
get a few DJs and shit. They'll bring in they'll bring in decent people. Like
Riley's got.
It's the same as an event. It's just fucking easier to do because it's in the middle of fucking wherever you want. Like,
exactly.
I think that's definitely something you guys should look into, because like hella people turn up.
I feel like
so many people.
It would be EXO 2K that would be able to like coordinate that, because he knows more people in that sort of realm.
Webcam world.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
how did you guys?
That'd be a webcam world event for sure.
How did you guys kind of amalgamate as a music collective? I noticed there's a lot of like small underground artists in one kind of sphere, which is kind of really sick. So how did you guys manage?
I'll try to tell it.
Alright, go.
Nah, so I was making music. Yeah, I'll tell my perspective, and then it kind of merges into yours. Anyway, I was like making music for ages, whatever, as a kid, and then when I was like 15, me and my mate Daniel, 86, he's the man. He fucking, like, we started going, all right, let's actually, because I was just making beats at that point. I was like, all right, let's actually like rap some shit on this. We've both got the energy to do it. We're both keen to do it. And like, we'd been big, like over that course of 2017 or some shit, we were just like getting into it. Like, let's rap. Like, we had some bars that we thought were sick. Started making songs. Obviously they were pretty shit because it's like your first few songs. Anyway, a few years go by. We're still making songs with each other. Keep making music. I dropped like an EP and some stuff. And then I sort of knew of Riley, or 2K, who runs Webcam World, as like, I knew him because he went to my first high school that I was at. And then fucking, somehow he just hit me up because he knew that me and Daniel were making music. And he was just like, oh yeah, fucking come to a gig. Whatever, I'll give you like 2 songs. I'll let you do 2 songs. It happened to be on my 18th birthday, so I was allowed in a club. And then fucking, you know, like it was my first time being in a club on my 18th birthday.
Yeah,
I got my ID literally like a day before, and I was just like they were looking at it and they were like, that's pretty sus. And I was like, no, like it's my 18th, like it's my first gig and shit. And we were keen. And then I swear that's the first time I met this motherfucker. And then like we didn't really become close friends for like probably like not a long time, but like we would just see each other at gigs and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And we started like just sending each other songs and like seeing each other more at gigs and talking more. But then we became like closer friends, and I guess like Riley kind of, you knew Riley. Yeah. Riley kind of like got you into it as well, right?
Yeah, the point in time where I came into the picture was when there was someone I knew, what's it called? Oh, yeah, it was Leech King. That's who I knew.
Yeah, and I saw that he was Leech King performed at that same event, which was like my 18th birthday.
Yeah.
So I was meeting all these dudes that I'd talked to in the DMs alone.
That event
I'd never met them, but I'd like had songs with them and shit, and I was meeting them because I was 18, the only way I could get in the club.
So you met them all that night as well?
Yeah, it's cooked. Like
Shit.
I'd never met any of them because I wasn't going to gigs yet.
When I went to that event, it was just Riley that I knew, and the only reason I knew him, I knew Leech was on it as well, but I didn't know Leech that well. I just met him at like a B&B party a while before, and then I saw that event was happening, and then I was posting TikToks at the time, like trying to do TikTok marketing. But then Riley commented on my shit because I was like, oh yeah, Melbourne artist lock in. And then, yeah, he just went by like Astral 2K at the time.
Yeah.
And
Astral.
It was Astral.
Astral was the shit.
Astral 2K. I'm like, that name still sounds cool. I don't know why he changed it. But anyway, yeah. So I met him through that. And then he said, yeah, I'm performing this event too. And then, yeah, he was the only person I knew that night. I saw all y'all performing and I'm like, this is fucking sick. And I don't think I'd done a gig yet at that point in time. I just like seen gigs go down.
The thing is,
that was in April of 2021.
Yeah, it was because April's when I turned fucking 18.
Yeah,
but it was cooked because fucking Lone was there, and like that was the first time I'd met Lone. Like we'd already made a song together, or maybe 2 songs.
Yeah.
But that was the first time I saw him live, and it like kicked it in for me. Like seeing him like, because that was my first time being on a stage doing 2 songs.
First time in a club.
First time in a club. Like, I mean, if you can call Laundry Bar a club. I'm sorry, Laundry, I love you. Fucking, you know, like just seeing Lone on the stage, fucking getting cunts jumping and shit after my 2 songs where people were kind of vibing, but they don't really know who I am, and it's kind of just like some small shit. Ended up being just like so fucking inspirational to like, holy fuck, I need to do more gigs. I need to like get better at this because like the stage aspect of it is like the main aspect of it and the funnest part of it. And like
I remember seeing you up there.
When I met you at that first event, when I first, like that night I'm talking about, I thought you had already done gigs because I'd like followed you on Instagram for a bit and I was like, this cunt's music's sick. Like I was listening to some of your songs, but I thought you'd already performed, or I thought you performed that night or some shit. I was confused. Like,
yeah, see, I didn't perform until
it's cooked.
I think it was May the 22nd was my first ever gig.
Right.
Yeah, because I remember like 2 nights before the gig, it was May 20th, I went.
So that would have been like a month after that. Yeah, no shit, yeah. Because I definitely remember being at that next gig you did.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I need to see this guy actually like do a set.
Nah, what's it called? It was like, yeah, it was May 22nd or like May 20th, sometime at that point in time. Because I remember on the 20th, that Melbourne artist Dolores, he's fucking sick as well. Really cool music. He like Riley sent me his Instagram story. Some Brazilian Indian like BMX riders for a fucking video.
Right.
So I went, and then I just completely cooked it on a dirt jump because I thought I could do it, but I didn't know what I was doing. I fucked up my AC joint. Like I just went. I landed out of it.
That's when that.
I went to catch my. Yeah, it was 2 nights before my gig, dude.
Damn.
That's why like, my first ever gig I did, like I had to like be so gentle with my arm. The way I was walking was so goofy because like I still was just fresh out of the sling. I was just like, this shit does not feel good at all. I remember being on stage like trying to like be energetic, and I felt it like click out of place, and it was just the most lousy feeling. But the gig overall was really fucking
I remember
fun.
it being a good set. So
No,
like,
you didn't.
Were you there?
Nah, this was like first. I don't remember seeing you at the first.
I was at the first. Yes.
Did I have purple hair?
Maybe not.
I had my purple mullet.
Okay, so maybe I'm cooking it.
It would have been one after.
It was probably the next one.
That was one that I was at as well. The one after that one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Fresh.
Yeah, that was a while back, and yeah, we've just been sort of just trying to do shit ever since, like get our sound a bit more elevated compared to the music you were making back then, which was already good because I was like, damn, I can hear like the Because back then I heard more of the Oz rap influence than like your other influences.
Nah, man. Like,
but like it was still more towards trap than Oz rap.
nah. For like a few years, I was just making shit purely out of like, I heard this Travis Scott, Young Thug song.
Yeah.
I want to make a song that captures that exact thing. And then like after 2 years of doing that, where you're just like trying to kind of do what something else is doing, and you start actually working with producers and like figuring it out. Like I started working with Tom Bonney, like one of my close mates. He went to my first high school as well. It's cooked how me, him, and Riley all went to the same fucking school. Like it's all linked up, but we didn't know each other. And then like years later, we all meet at like clubs where we're like, oh, you went to that school. Like it's cooked. But you know, having producers come in and just fucking be like, hey, your music's kind of ass, is so good.
Oh, it's fucking
It's
amazing.
the best.
You need it.
Like when someone says,
the
oh,
best.
like no, like what do you? This is not good. That's when you know, like, oh, okay, like it's been in the back of my mind, me going, yeah, I'm just copying, or not copying, but like taking influence and feeling like you're copying.
Yeah.
So maybe it is copying, but like,
But that's like how you start out, isn't it? Like
when you start
like,
working with other people and they go like, no, try this sound. Try
they
this
force you to
type
step
of
out
thing.
of like the comfort zone.
Yeah, and then you just like start making shit where you're like, oh, like I didn't know I could make that type of thing. It's fucking, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's fun having that moment where it's like, oh shit, I don't have to like try to mimic artists that already sound pleasing to my ear. I can make my own voice sound pleasing in a different way. Because that's the biggest thing when you're starting out, is just like getting over your voice, whether it's music or reading, right? Like any of that kind of shit. It's just like, you know.
And
exactly.
one like small thing to add to that is like
Hold your mic.
the whole time that you're fucking doing those attempts where you're like, yeah, this is like, I heard this one Travis Scott song, I love the way the beat is with his particular melody, da 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 da, and you're like obsessed on that, and the attempts of you trying to mimic a sound that you like are often what make you your own fucking sound. It's not it, like I remember me and this motherfucker had a FaceTime about it, where I was like, wait, all of like the attempts you go for, like, oh, I'm trying to do this type of song with this type of whatever, because that's always in your mind when you're making a fucking song. Like,
yeah, like the aesthetic direction
that shit, like that shit is always there, but you realize that your attempt at being like that, because you're influenced by more than just one thing. If you're kind of just influenced by one thing, you're going to sound like that thing. But if you're influenced by a lot of things, your attempt to try and like meld all those things together is what your sound is.
Exactly, yeah.
It's not, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's not copying. It's like, no, like I brought all of these influences in my mind that are just there. And when I was making the song, you're just making the song because it's fun as fuck.
And then the products of other artists become your tools.
And like, you realize you're like, oh, so I've been attempting to do this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, my attempt to do it
is your practice.
Is my sound.
Yeah.
Like my attempt to get this sound is the sound you already have. Like people don't get that, and they imitate too hard, and you have like people sounding exactly like Travis Scott recording on Bandlamp on their fucking iPhone. Nothing against that, but like,
props to them.
Like, yeah, no, like do whatever you want. Make music however the fuck you want. It doesn't matter. But like, I don't know. I just think when people try to copy too hard, it's like, no, like let yourself into that influence and fucking don't become the influence.
Yeah.
Just fucking use the influence with yourself and make
exactly.
it. And it's gonna be like, think about fucking Blade.
Yeah.
Think about Blade's music. Do you know Blade's music?
Yeah, I've heard of Blade, yeah.
Yeah, like, you listen to Blade and you go, oh, there's obviously going to be so many people that are going to come and like this sound and try and copy it. And then all these artists pop up and you can tell, oh, they've got that influence.
They're fucking drained, man.
Yeah, no, but it's not even that. It's not even like some drain gang shit. I'm not even like, I'm trying to make an actual point. Like, those people that just end up sounding exactly like Blade, it's like, no, like, do your Aussie accent.
Yeah.
Fucking do the weird production shit that you want to do.
Yeah.
And that attempt to sound like someone you love is the fucking...
Is the product. Yeah.
Is the product that you are making. It's like, when you show it to other people, they're like, oh shit, this is you? Like, I didn't know you could pull this off.
Yeah.
And people, like, sometimes I've thought of that as like negative, where I'm like, no, it doesn't sound like anything else. But it's like because we're always thinking about music and shit.
Yeah, but we critique it way harder.
There's other people that are just listening to music and they go, oh, this is like you combined with this artist and this type of beat. And yeah, it works out.
Yeah, how long did it take you to kind of hone the skill to where you are today?
I have no skill right now.
Yeah, obviously.
I'm at ground
like,
zero.
Yeah, in terms of the entire, like, in terms of the full picture, like everyone is, however, like
Yeah,
when they're
like,
like,
if you take everything into
yeah, but as of like
consideration.
right now, you like just watching you guys cook up before, it's like sick.
All right, well, you answer first.
What was the question exactly?
How long did it take you to get to the point where you can? Because people listening to this have likely heard what you've already made.
Yeah,
they know that you are up to a certain quality level. How did you get to that point where you're able to create your own stuff and have that kind of really good balance of I'm doing this and I made this?
Yeah, I think it's accepting the fact that like it won't be like that from the start. Because when we started out, there was so many songs where you make like what you say, like you just make shit that's just like not that good. But you can't beat yourself up over that because that's like such an early stage. And there's so much, you just need to do a lot of output. You just need to create, make shit. You hear something that sounds good and you'll be like, oh, I can stick with that. And also like be open to like changing up your workflow. Like when you collaborate with other people, they force you to do different things and you see things from a different light and you're like, oh shit, I can, this is actually improving the art, or it's improving my perception of what I'm creating. It's making me feel better about my art. And then that also will push you to, try different things or like push yourself harder to have more attention to detail or care more about what you're making. And
yeah,
I'd say, and also accept that you're going to have downtimes where you're going to have to pump the brakes and focus on the rest of your real life. Like music is not your like whole identity. Like it doesn't have to be for you to be good at it. Like we're all multifaceted beings. We like to do other stuff. Like it doesn't have to just be one thing. Because if you focus on just one thing too much, you'll burn out and then it'll feel like a chore. But if you enjoy it, obviously also on that same point, like if you enjoy just doing the one thing, that's great. And you probably progress really quickly too, if you're just focusing on that. But for the way we got to the point, like, I don't know how long to say, because it's like, I've been around music for like...
When did you start making music?
Like making and releasing or just making?
No, just when did you start loading up softwares and making things?
I think...
Other than GarageBand.
Other than GarageBand? Okay, so the first time I ever opened FL was a demo. And...
Same.
Yeah, it was the demo, and I tried to make a remix of Faded by Alan Walker, and it was horrible, but I still put it on SoundCloud.
Is that the song that all the YouTubers used to use? Like remixes of it in their like outros and shit?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, that used to be in so many like YouTube videos. I know the one.
It was the one with the woman singing though.
So what year was that, sorry?
That would have been shit. That was like midway through high school, man. I was midway through high school.
2017 or something like that.
I don't even know. It would have been year 9 maybe.
So like 15, 14, some shit.
Yeah. Anything before that, I was playing with GarageBand on my phone or iPad. Then I remember I made that, and then I just stopped for ages. I just didn't really bother with FL Studio. I think I was just, I don't know, playing video games, just being a fucking introvert. Just doing something else, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then it was like towards the end of high school, like year 11, year 10 was when I got FL torrented. And then I downloaded drum kits and I was like watching like people cook up beats and I'm like, this is actually fucking sick. And yeah, it was like the end of high school when I made something that I was like happy with. Because I'd made songs, I remember I used the phone as like voice memo.
Yeah.
And used that as the mic because I didn't have a mic or anything. And I'm like, it works fine, it sounded clear.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like the videos I started watching was like when it was around the time X's like 17 album was popular. So everyone was doing those Shiloh Dynasty samples, like the guitar, like the...
Oh, dude, I made
a
couple of those ones back in the day.
That's how I started. I was just like, okay, I watched a tutorial that taught me how to make that kind of beat, and my version of it was arguably horrible, but it was still like, I still tried it, and I was like, okay, this is cool, I can do this. And I just, because I was listening to a bunch of random different music at the time, I think that's when, towards the end of high school is when I was finding out things like underground rap and the screamer rap and like the soft shit and like the weird like... My homies had shown me Young Lane, but I hadn't warmed up to it yet. I took a while to come around to it.
He was on fucking Blonde. And like, bro is probably still not in his 30s. Like, he's still a young fucking dude, bro. He blew up when he was like 16 or 17.
Yeah.
My facts are probably wrong, whatever, but fuck it.
Fuck you, fucking grammar Nazis out there trying to fact check you.
No,
bro.
give us the correct facts in the comments. If you really want.
Yeah. Speaking of blowing up, how much effort do you put in, or how much emphasis do you put on the marketing aspect of getting your fucking name out there? How important is that to you guys?
It is important, but I have not figured that part out yet. And
Yeah.
I know for a fact it'll take a while, and it's a long game. Because I think I'm like for a while I was focused on like virality and like quick engagement, and what we were discussing earlier before we turned the mics on was like the whole thing about like pleasing the algorithm, blah blah blah. But doing so much of that made the whole creative process of even making a song depressing, because I was just like, I'm just gonna end up acting like a fucking bot just to get this heard by people.
Yeah.
But
And then that skews their view of you.
Yeah.
And then it's just like...
It made me feel like, am I really treating my music like this? And I don't know what the word is for it. But I don't know. I think it's the gamification of like or the gamification of your art. Of being like, oh yeah, no, I need to, as soon as I make this, I have to make sure it reaches this number of people.
Yeah,
blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
yeah.
And it's good to have a goal, but I think it's because of how much like popular people that are already viral saying like, yeah, you have to do this on TikTok, do that, make videos daily, make content, everything is labeled as content. And it's like...
Yeah, it's kind of dehumanized.
It's very dehumanizing. It's like, man, I'm just going to churn this shit out so people like watch me for more than 3 seconds, and it's kind of lame.
Yeah.
But
that's the one thing that I would say if I want to make like... I don't want to talk too much on this thing, but I do want to say that there's a difference...
to add as well.
Yeah, 100%, bro. There's a difference between the Emoji Movie and fucking American Psycho, or like Donnie Darko, who don't really get the recognition that they would have eventually gotten in the short term, because they're not made for the short term. They put like hours and hours of, I assume, hours and hours of work into the movie, and then 20 years later, 30 years later, it starts to pop off because it's timeless.
In that way, like that film is more like a painting where it's like, this is going to be there for 20, 40, 60, a million years to be looked at.
Yeah.
This isn't something for everyone now.
Yeah.
There were people enjoying it in the time, obviously, but like, you know,
but
what
like
I mean?
for instance, I know for a fact Donnie Darko fucking did shit all in the box office.
And now it's like a cult classic fucking movie.
People continue to
and
talk about
that
it.
fucking segues perfectly to what I was going to say, which is like, just make your own sound. Like, attempt those things. Have all your influences fucking laid out in front of you. Listen to your fucking favorite artists every day.
Yeah.
And fucking, you're going to make something in the attempt to, like, when you find that right beat, or you make the right beat, or the melody's right, or just you know, if you play guitar or you play drums and you're like, fuck, this is just working perfectly. Just go with that shit and don't try to fix it too much. Because that fixing it too much is basically trying to be like, opinions. I'm going to turn it into this, which is an already existing idea.
Which is like popular by this artist.
It's an existing idea, and you're better off just mixing it how you feel like, yes, that sounds like that. And obviously, you can have songs that are mixed very badly, and use those as lessons to fucking make your shit better. Like, use those as lessons for your next song, and just keep going. And like,
it's tricky though. You got to find the balance, because it's like, I feel like when you listen to a wider range of artists, then it makes sense. If you listen to a very narrow scope of like trap artists, you're gonna and you try to make your shit sound like that. Hold on a sec. You're trying to make your shit sound like that. It's gonna sound very cookie cutter. But if you have a wider range of influences, use reference tracks from genres outside of what you're comfortable with. You can be like, oh, I can incorporate these types of sound, these types of elements in my music, and makes it sound have a bit more depth, and it's not just like a basic song that's just gonna catch a buzz, and not have what's it called? What you were saying before about like marketing and stuff like that, and like what's called like virality and things. Yeah, it's like when you make your music, like, is your goal to just make a song that gets popular, or is it the goal to make a song that's complete, that's like a whole piece? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like that's the vibe that I feel like you and me are both doing within our own kind of subgenres of trap, emo, alternative,
post-rap,
alternative, postmodern, fucking whatever it is. Like
dancecore.
Like, no, but it's something where it's like we want our beats and we want our production to be something that is looked at as like separately from the fucking the lyrics.
Yeah, exactly. No,
like
there's a lot of, you know how like the main thing in like the whole hip hop realm, it's like make it like a simple beat that like rappers can like lay all their shit out on. It's like, yeah, that's cool, and there's songs that are like that.
It's like nice if we are rappers who can make our own beats to fit exactly what we want to fucking express on it. It's like there aren't really any limits. It just takes time. Make something based off what you're fucking feeling and experiencing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, don't be like, oh, there's a new Travis Scott song on the Metro Boomin album. I like that flow. I'm going to take that flow and put it on a Lil Baby beat. And now it's a different song. But it's like, use the influences, but meld it into your perspective, and then you are your own artist.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You can be independent and not have to worry about people calling you like a
poser,
and also
or
just like
biting someone's style, because it's like, no, sorry, I'm from this place. This is the music I listen to.
Exactly, yeah.
And this is what the result of that is when I try to express it.
Yeah, bro. I was actually listening to the Metro Booming interview after he dropped the album, and he was talking about how TikTok is a massively thought about thing when the corporate side of whatever the label is doing
industry
is producing like an album. A lot of the shit that they're doing is, and fair enough, man, because it's part of the world we live in nowadays. But
you can't do anything about it. It's how it is.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the difference between creating timeless classics and creating things that'll fizzle out in 2 years less.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if you have that, sorry, go.
It's to add to that point, like, just building your catalog, having EPs with 4 songs on them. Each song is not even 2 minutes long. The latest shit I dropped is a 5-song project, and it's less than 10 minutes. Like, you don't need, like, just drop things that you like, drop the stuff you fuck with. People that fuck with it around you, your friends, whoever they spread it to, they'll fucking get it out there. Like, it's
and if it's not your friends, you have to go out and talk to people and find different people. You can't just expect to sit in your shell and not talk to people and get people to, like, listen to you. You have to go out there and talk to people.
If your friends aren't the types to be like, just like sending everyone DMs like, hey, listen to my mate's new songs, which is not a lot of people, like, let's face it, just share it to those people, and then fucking put a little bit of money into it. You need to have some income if you're doing this. You can't, like, have some income.
You can't do it on zero income.
You can't do it on zero.
You can.
No, you can if you're lucky, but it's like, why not increase your chances?
Why base it on luck? Exactly. Why just, like, leave it to up to virality or the algorithm? It's like, no, you can do things that, like, show the small amount of people that fuck with you. They're like, oh wow, they're putting budgets and they're trying to do big picture things. They're not just hoping for virality, trying to blow up. It's like, no, they want to make their shit heard, which gives people, like, the small number of people that are already. This goes for, like, small artists is what we're talking about, because we can't speak for big artists. I don't know what their process is like.
No, we're speaking for artists. Ourselves. We're speaking for artists who do gigs where, like, 30 people show up if it's not your own event.
Yeah, literally.
That's a fucking very slim fucking group of people, but
but it's still people that want to make music.
Exactly.
They still enjoy making music. You have to enjoy it too. If you're just doing it because you think it's gonna get you, like, an income or get you a better life, it's not the right industry.
If
music is the most dicey, the most.
If you're not enjoying
it, there really is no good outcome that'll come of it.
If you're not enjoying it, take a break. Because you might start watching some movies and be like, holy shit, I want to be a fucking cinematographer.
Yeah.
I want to be a lens focused guy. Like, you might just find something else that's within that artistic kind of, like, because I look at films the same way I look at music. Like, you can find fucking similarities and, like, just shit that mirrors each other, where you're like, oh, like, okay, I like music, maybe I can find a way to do music for films. Like, there's so many fucking But we're trying to make some songs and blow up.
I mean, that's always in the back of your mind, but I guess the biggest test of that mindset is if you knew for a fact that your music was never going to reach the masses, would you still continue to do it?
What classifies as the masses?
Like, if you Van Gogh it, you know what happened to Van Gogh?
Nah.
So basically, he only sold one painting in his whole entire life, and it was only after he died that his music or his art started actually becoming mainstream, if you want to call it.
I feel like
that guy was probably depressed. He was like going through it, and that probably helped the art as well.
Exactly, because I mean, like, at the end of it,
it definitely played some kind of factor into it.
Yeah, because, like, the thing is,
do you have the Pepsi real quick? Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to break up the interview.
No, drink your Pepsi.
Editing.
What's it called? About, like, what the thing with Van Gogh and him, like, not selling that much. It's like,
yeah, would you, if that was going to be your career, would you still pursue this game?
100%. This past year, I've not put out that much music because I've just spent so much time listening to the songs I finished, just, like, on my train rides to work,
train rides home when I'm out by myself or driving in the car. Just like listening and like just enjoying it. I think, yeah, I've not to fucking toot my own horn, but I've just listened to myself more than anyone else is like listening to my shit this year, just because it's just been what I wanted to do. And it was just like, I was not feeling like marketing, and I wasn't feeling like just dropping it for the sake of and then not doing anything with it. Because I just really haven't, like, the time has been like a bit dicey for me. I've just had like other shit going on in real life that I've had to attend to and like pump the brakes on like being like on my content pushing and shit like that. But I've still been able to make music because it makes me happy. And like, and then even amongst that, there's still people that come to me and say like, yo, your music's fucking dope. I listen to it like on the way to work, I listen to it at work, I play your shit in my store, and I'm just like, fuck me, they play it in the store. But I also appreciate it because I'm just, it's just because the songs are old and I'm just like over those songs.
You can't not appreciate that.
Of course I appreciate it. It's just me cringing on myself. I appreciate them doing that, and I'm grateful that I'm like, fuck, I make an impact. Because when you make the music, it's like, you want to, like, for me it was like someone thinking like, oh, what I've created or shared is cool. 2, it's fun for me to make. 3, it's helped them in some way in their life. If the music I'm making makes a person like feel through a certain emotion more easily, that's what I listen to music for. That's what a lot of us listen to music for, is to feel things a certain way, give you a different perspective, or just to like ignore a certain feeling, numb things out, or to do with your emotions, you know, your headspace. If the fact that like we have the time to do that for other people is dope. It doesn't matter if you can't do it for 2 million people. Doing it for 10 people is just as important as doing it for 100. And when you realize that, that's when you have longevity. If you just expect, if you think you can only, if you think you should only give a fuck when you're like at like
getting attention,
1 million listeners,
yeah,
then it's like, I'm sure whatever you were putting out before then probably didn't have the whole heart that you would have if you were viral already. It's like, you should care from the start just as much as you are, like. And like, and as much as you are when you're big, because it matters. Like, because it'll show out in the art. If you're just making half-ass shit, people are gonna see that that's what you're fucking like expressing, and it's not gonna really go as far. I feel like if you're not going hard on promo, you're not going hard on making your songs, you're just posting it small. Don't expect it to blow up.
Yeah, just wearing the label.
And then getting mad that people don't care about you, because it's like, it'll go as far as like how much you care. I feel, and it's like, there was a point in time in my life where, I felt like my music was hitting a brick wall, and like you said, let's say random fucking chain of events happen, I pass on, my music only catches on once I'm dead, then that just is that. I can't do anything about it. But you know, that's if in my mind I already believe that, like, if more people do find it by the time I'm, you know, done doing music or something's happened to me, but it's helped people, that's still a good thing. And I still would have helped people in the meantime. So
I fuck with that, for sure, man. For sure. How much do you think about record deals, record labels?
It would be cool, but that's like when when someone comes to me with an opportunity that's like, we can still not, what's it called? Record deals, as long as I don't get fucked over. Because it's like, you gotta read your contracts. I think you have to.
But even if you read them, bro, like, you need a lawyer to read.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, have a lawyer. I feel like having a lawyer that like knows that shit and like understands what your best interest is. Like,
I got lawyers in my family. We all good.
There you go.
There you go, bro.
Better call Huey.
Like, speaking legalese right now, bro.
Legalese.
Yeah. No, it's tight. I also kind of think about how people use record labels or record deals to their advantage, like how they use it to get a following and then kind of branch off into other stuff, whether it be art, fashion, whatever.
I think like a lot of
to have the resources.
Yeah, well,
so nice to have
I think a lot of the time you see rappers.
Like, do you think it's possible without the label?
Yes, incredibly. Like, so many artists who make a living, do shows, do tours, have sick fucking music videos, can express their art how they want to, can do it without a label. They have people working for them, managers and agents, but you don't need a label to have a manager or an agent working for you. Yeah. And like, the way I see it, it kind of comes back to the whole thing of doing our own shows and stuff like that, is like, if we just, like, the next show we're doing is probably going to be in March or April, and we're going to sell way more fucking tickets than we did in fucking October of 2022, which was like 150 tickets. I already know we're going to sell more. We're getting artists from other states. The lineup is shorter. It's not as long of a night. If you can just plan things that keep escalating on what you've already done, I think you can get to a point where you're an independent artist and you don't have, you know, you don't have the bullshit of like, oh, fuck, there's 30% going to this person. But, you know, you have to be fair. You got to pay your producers. You got to pay everyone. Everyone who...
You still have to pay other people.
Yeah, and like the event that we did in October, we made about $2,000. I had to pay $1,000 to the club, which was in Yarraville. I had to pay $200 to the door girl because she came very last minute and like we needed someone. Yeah. She was the sound engineer's girlfriend, which, you know, some of you might think like, fuck, that's a lot of fucking money to spend an hour for an event. But if you get enough people there, if you just spread the word, you have enough artists on your lineup, just do events, put shows together.
It's fun.
Put
like,
a show.
Things to get people involved. Like,
put a show together. Put a show together with like 4 of your mates, and each of you have like different friend groups you can all invite 10 people to. Then you've got 40 people there. If it's a small venue, that's going to be perfect. You can all play your music, buy drinks, everyone's having a good time.
You just gotta enjoy
and then the next fucking time you get like another one artist, maybe change a couple of the artists you had last time, and then you've got a bigger venue and you've got maybe like 80 people coming. Like you can double it. Like just it's all about just building, like literally just building whatever the fuck you're trying to do. Even if it's not music, I think. Like, if you've got a clothing business.
You gotta go out of your way to find other people in that realm.
Exactly.
Like, go to gigs that you're not performing
Go to gigs you're not performing at, but people who you look at their Instagrams and you're like, oh, they've got 800 followers. They're not...
And you see the content they're putting out, it's like...
And then, you know, even if you just make beats or you mix music, go to those gigs, get involved. That's what I tell everyone at gigs. I'm like, dude, just come to more. The people you'll meet if you're interested in music.
If you want to meet more people in your community, come to gigs. The people that are there most likely will want to be involved.
Exactly. Like, everyone at a gig, even if they're just like... I was talking to this girl, Alex, at the gig we put on in fucking Kindred.
Alex
in Yarraville.
Cry Harder, Alex?
Yeah. Alex at Cry Harder. She's a sick cunt. Yeah. I was talking to her at the event because I was telling her about the whole situation of like, oh, last minute we had to pay like $200-$300 to the door chick because she lives close, and she was like, oh, I know all of the, like, I used to work the door at this bar. I know all these chicks who would be down to do it for like any event. Yeah. Like, it's the same effect with everyone you meet. You meet cunts who are taking photos. You meet people like you who are videoing shit and have like YouTube videos about being fucking homeless for 24 hours. Like, crazy video. Like, you just meet people who are doing creative shit, and like, if you're seeing music live, why not just get involved and invite more friends to the next one? And that's what's happened. Like, that's what's happened every time we've done shows. Yeah. More people bring their friends and they get bigger.
Exactly, because from the shows that you do, from the very start, no matter how few people you have to put on the show, you can't go up there and expect everyone to be like fucking drooling over you.
You have to put effort in. You have to put effort in.
You have to be fucking feeling yourself up there, regardless of how many people are like actually bumping their heads. You have to be enjoying the performance. Like, I remember when I did my first gig, like, I was nervous but I had like friends watching me and it was like supportive as. But they also like, I enjoyed the gig because we saw you just like having fun, like doing whatever you wanted up there. Like, there was a big ass grin on my face. That's what they said, and I'm like, yeah, damn, like that is important. It's important that we are enjoying it for the most part, because other people will gravitate towards that. You know what I mean? Like, the people that, you know, are okay with it, people that are comfortable with themselves and aren't insecure about looking cringe or some shit. There's such a weird like section of people at the club that will like purposely sit. I don't know why they come, but they'll sit really far away. I don't even know which friend they're there to see. I don't even know, like, there's different groups of people for different artists that we don't know.
I know what you mean.
They'll sit at the far back of the club, or they will be in smokers the whole time. They won't even see their homie. But it's like, why did you come at that point?
Yeah.
But it's like,
at the end of the day, even if you want to come and not like watch all the sets,
that's also
you can socialize and find other people interested in the similar fucking things that you're interested in.
Exactly.
There's no fucking, like, I don't know.
There you go. Speaking of making things for the future, a lot of the kind of videography shit that I do, especially like right now, I'm thinking about 20, 30 years in the future. Given that, probably the last question I'll ask you guys is, what is your message to the 40-year-old version of yourself watching this right now?
At that point, I hope that I can just make whatever I want whenever I want. Because I want to get into fucking like iron welding. I want to make rings. I want to make metal sculptures.
That's so like just came out of nowhere.
I want to make. I want to make like I'm really into furniture. I want to make furniture. That's kind of something that's been on my brain for like probably a year or two now, and I feel like by the time I'm 40, hopefully if I'm set up enough, you know, whether it's through music or film, because I want to get into acting as well before then. Yeah, I'd love to just be able to make stuff literally just on a whim. Like, oh, I want to go make some rings today. I'll make 10 rings and I'll give them out to like all my friends or whatever. Like, I just want to go do this, or I want to make like a fucking ashtray, or I want to make
I got you.
I want to make a table or a couch. Like, I want to figure out those things and just learn how to make different things. But I feel like I'll always be making music, so that'll probably continue. But whether I'm releasing it publicly will depend on the situation. Like, if you know, if I end up having a big music career, maybe I'll keep releasing music for like decades. I don't really know, but I know I'll always be making music, whether it's for the public or whether it's just for me or to show friends or to play at fucking parties that we're having when we're 40 years old and seedy as fuck and all wearing singlets like this motherfucker. And I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like me at the age of 40, that I would have been doing a lot of things outside of music. And I just have to, I'm accepting that that's like totally okay. There's nothing wrong with like loving what you do, like loving like one thing a lot, but then also going off and doing other things. Like, life is not as linear as you want to make it out to me. It's not what you make it, it's what you want to make it out to be. Sorry, fucking forgot how to speak. And there's gonna be so many experiences. You just gotta have an open mind and just do whatever comes your way. Like, I understand that if you want to, you know, flourish or whatever, you're gonna have to meet people, you have to put yourself out there, you have to talk. And I'm sure by 40 my social skills would have probably hopefully improved, that I can, you know, like pitch myself to people with more confidence, more presence, to show that it's like, yeah, I'm really committed about what I do. And that just comes with time.
Well, confidence comes with competence, so
the
better you get, the more confident you'll feel.
Exactly. It's a time thing, and you got to understand. It's the long game too. Like, you don't. This is
it's playing 5D chess with us, mate. It's playing the long game.
We're playing the fucking long game, and the long game, isn't a straight line. It's a very windy road. I'm like, there's gonna be points in my life I really hope I can, you know, set myself up well enough that I can travel for a while. That would be cool. As for jobs and things like that, I don't know. Job's a job. It's just there to make you money. Like, I haven't really thought too much about what I'll be doing at the age of 40, but I assume it's just so I can live comfortably enough that I can create art, see people, like hang out with my friends that like also have a love for art and like doing that kind of thing. And whether it's just sharing it amongst ourselves, like what Huey said, or like doing it solo, or, you know, to make an impact within a community like that. Like, it'd be cool, but if it doesn't happen, like, that's okay. If it doesn't happen, that's okay, because as long as, like, you know, every time before that, you at least wanted to give it your all. Like,
yeah, dope. Cheers for coming on, boys.
Yeah. No. Anytime, mate. Anytime.
Any final words, or we'll just cut it there?
I've got some final words.
Yeah.
If that's...
heck yeah, final words.
I want to put like this to motivational music.
I'm going to pull my glasses up for this one. On the 31st of December, I woke up and I had very long hair. And I decided, fuck, it's way too hot to have long hair on the 31st of December in Australia, which is summer for all of you weird European Yanks and all the rest of you. But I shaved my head and it felt spiritual, and it has put me at another level of inspiration and kind of confidence in myself of like, oh yeah, I can just be bald. Who gives a fuck about the hairline? Like, look at that. Just fucking do what you want whenever you feel like it.
That shit is a triangle.
Because, I'm telling you, bro.
Coastline function.
do whatever the fuck you feel like. Like, literally, if you feel like just going and getting food, do it. But do something creative. Because when you're eating that food, you're going to be thinking, oh, fuck, like, there is that one thing that I like to do. Or is there is that 4 things that I like to do. And it's like, no, like, buy your food, but fucking have a job so you don't have to fucking buy your food and then be broke. Go and fucking buy your food, go home, make a beat, make a fucking short film, make a fucking feature-length film, produce anything. Produce music, produce fucking content, whatever the fuck you're trying to do, just do it, because there is literally no one stopping you, and, like, if you get more famous than me, I'll kill you.
Bars.
That's a wrap. There we go. I feel like I ended that with a really whack fucking energy.
You cracked this up.
Yeah, cracked this up. Just turn my voice deep pitched for the last bit.